The organization Meta has been in the news because of several reasons lately, from staff hijacking user accounts and supposedly accepting bribes to a falling stock price, mass layoffs, a progressively ineffective business model, and a falling Metaverse project. Their latest financial report showed a 52% decline in net profit for the quarter. It seems like the organization that everybody loves to hate is in hot water if nothing changes. In this episode, we will talk about the flailing of the once unstoppable Goliath. Welcome to Bulls and Bears. If you're new to the channel, hit the like button and subscribe if you enjoy our content. Now, let's go back to the video. Meta investors are very unhappy. They've seen flat growth, diminished revenue, and profit. Less than a year ago, Meta was valued at almost $1 trillion. Today, it's worth under 33% of that. To put it another way, the fall has been so dramatic to the point that its stock price has returned to January of 2016 levels. If you invested in Meta around that period without pulling profits, you've lost cash. This year, Meta is down 70%, making it the most awful performing stock in the whole S&P 500. To begin to understand the full picture of why Meta is falling, we need to return to 2005. At the time, Facebook's then president Sean Parker would assist Mark Zuckerberg in exploring his strategy for getting around Silicon Valley, but he would also assist Mark to gain complete oversight of the organization. Under the direction of Sean, Zuckerberg would set up the organization so he was the king. He overruled everybody, even the board of directors. He couldn't be touched, and it would remain this way indefinitely. This dictatorship would come back to hurt the organization. During the 2010s, users began to move from desktops to smartphones. Although Facebook adjusted, Mark Zuckerberg felt like they could have been more of a player in the hardware space. Facebook tried releasing its smartphone in 2013, but the public thumbed their nose at it. Mark needed to try something different, and in 2014, he would find it. When Zuckerberg saw the Oculus demo, he was hooked. He believes that VR will be the future of computing. He would then purchase Oculus for $2 billion and bet everything, even changing the organization's name and burning through $10 billion a year on research to make his vision a reality. And herein lies one of the significant issues. Since Mark was king, no one inside the organization could stop him, even if they thought it was a poorly conceived idea. However, as I see it, technology overall seems to be heading down a path where a widely used metaverse environment for the majority will become unavoidable. A virtual space where an online life is lived in VR. But there's an issue. Is this future 5 years away? Or, on the other hand, 15 years away? If it's 5 years away, Meta could hang on and ride it out. However, if it's 15 years away, this is a major issue and investors won't tolerate it. For investors, it seems like Zuckerberg is hinging his Titan organization on something that the world simply isn't prepared for yet. Apple effectively got through this issue with the iPhone. Meta isn't on a similar level here, or at least not yet. On the hardware side, they're doing a few cool things and have sold more than 10 million VR headsets, which is great. But on the software side, Meta's flagship Metaverse product, Horizon Worlds, looks terrible. I can hardly imagine how more than $15 billion went into the production of this software. I think Zuckerberg is right on the money when he said that VR will be the technology that connects individuals in a manner that other technologies can't. However, there's simply so much work that should still be done. As Palmer Luckey, the founder of Oculus, puts it, Horizon Worlds is a poor product that isn't fun. Quote, "It's terrible today, but it could be amazing in the future." And the thing is, creating an amazing VR experience is not impossible. VR chat is now miles ahead in numerous aspects. In August of 2022, the VP of Horizon Worlds left. It's not showing the best confidence of behind-the-scenes activity. The second issue is the crippling of the main source of income for Meta, targeted advertising. And, once again, to completely understand this, we need to go back, this time to 2008. On this year, Facebook would hire Google ad executive Sheryl Sandberg as Chief Operating Officer. In those early days, She would balance Mark's reckless behavior, but additionally, she was instrumental in making what would push Facebook into the stratosphere. Very powerful advertising based on the individual data of users. It functioned admirably that early employees became rich. This was perfect for wallets, but awful for customers. Users totally couldn't stand it when they figured out that they were being taken advantage of. But it didn't matter, because the organization was bringing in cash at a mind-blowing rate. However, without knowing it, Meta had now become vulnerable to any external element that interfered with its information gathering, and this is precisely what happened in 2021. Tim Cook would order that iPhone clients could turn off their ad targeting, and Meta lost billions. Statistically, iPhone clients will quite often spend more cash than Android ones, so this move by Apple seriously hurt Facebook. As per David Winger, Meta's CFO, advertisers are currently beginning to move to Google. With Meta's disintegrated profits, everything was now uncovered and open to clear scrutiny. In all honesty, Meta is an organization that isn't further developing its core products. Enhancements to UI and user experiences are put aside. Instead, Meta centers around taking different features from other platforms, like Reels from TikTok, and implementing them into Instagram. But competing with one of the best social media algorithms on Earth is a tall task. Reels aren't as successful at bringing in cash as Instagram's other features. Concerning the user experience, Instagram is currently stifled with advertisements and is straying further away from its original concept. For its first 10 years, back when it was Facebook, the firm used to improve on the social media front. This stage is clearly finished. In early 2022, longtime COO Sheryl Sandberg, who was supposedly the grown-up in the room, left Meta. Now, Mark Zuckerberg is a king with no guardrails. Most recently, Facebook has laid off 11,000 staff, or 13% of their labor force. Although higher interest rates are destroying high-risk investments, like large tech, any stock falling by 70% in a year isn't anything to sneeze at. Zuckerberg states that overinvestment was the issue. He doesn't appear to consider doubling down on the Metaverse to be an issue for investors. On the 10th of November, in a call with investors, he would mention that he thought the surge of e-commerce from coronavirus would be permanent. So he fundamentally increased his investments and quote, "Unfortunately, this did not play out the way I expected. Not only has online commerce returned to prior trends, but the macroeconomic downturn, increased competition, and ad signal loss have caused our revenue to be much lower than I expected. I got this wrong, and I take responsibility for that." Beyond financial troubles, Meta is confronting investigations from the FTC and an entire host of legislators. Antitrusters are approaching and threatening either to break up the organization or make it harder for them to simply acquire organizations as they could in the past. I additionally don't need to emphasize every one of the scandals like Cambridge Analytica, leaked documents in mental health and social division. The demographic shift also wasn't helping. TikTok has eaten Meta's lunch, both on Facebook and Instagram. As per Kevin Rose of the New York Times, despite older individuals generally having more funds, advertisers love to follow the younger demographic. Long story short, Meta is in an identity crisis with a ruler who has tunnel vision. So what can be done? Well, taking a look from an outside perspective, there should be some soul searching. Meta is already 2 organizations, so maybe Mark should embrace this. One organization is pure technology organization that is focused on creating the metaverse. The other is a social media and advertising business. And this organization has lost the attention of its CEO. Perhaps it's the ideal time for the social media part to be a legitimate subsidiary run by another CEO. The main ray of hope is that Meta still has just about 4 billion consumers. There's a ton of potential to turn it around. But 1, will they? And 2, do we even want that? Let's simply say if we had a metaverse for the majority created by another person, I wouldn't be miserable. So what do you guys think? Why did Meta drop by as much as it did? What would you have done differently? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, hit the subscribe button Click on the notification bell to be updated on our new videos. See you in our next video.